Yo, I hope you watched to the end because I'm going to give some more practical advice at the end of the video. But anyways, hope you like the title. I think that's kind of a fun title. I'm a pretty weird guy. You know, imagine if I was dating a woman and she wanted to introduce me to her parents, and they're like, so GoldJacketLuke, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm a no-fap guru. I'm a semen retention. You know, that's obviously not what I would say, but I'm just illustrating the point that, you know, I'm kind of a weird guy, and I feel like there's like different niches in the dating world, and I want to go into that. And this video is inspired by a conversation I had with a client, you know, like a year and a half ago. And this client is a you know, super awesome guy, really awesome guy, attractive guy, super cool. And during a session we had, he was just saying, he was like, am I missing something? Is there something more I need to do? And you know, on YouTube, you got the masculinity YouTubers constantly saying you gotta be more masculine, you gotta be more stoic. You got the dating coaches or pickup artists saying you gotta put yourself out there more. You gotta, and you know, you got the spiritual YouTubers saying you gotta be more present, you gotta find love more from within. You got the entrepreneur YouTubers saying you gotta hustle more and make more money. But in our day and age, we're just constantly like bombarded with people trying to trigger our insecurities to make us feel that we're not good enough. And this isn't to say that we obviously need to constantly improve ourselves, yes, but it's very easy to think, oh, I'm missing something. I need to do this one more thing. I need to make a little bit more money. I need to do become more masculine or whatever it is. And anyways, what me and this client kind of came to a conclusion to together was that, well, several things, but one of the things is that in dating, people are kind of like furniture. And there are some people who are kind of like, I don't know, a nice couch who can fit in with most living rooms. There are some people out there who just seem to get in and out of relationships quite easily, who seem to connect with lots of people very easily, and you know, they're kind of attractive to lots of people and get into relationships in and out of lots of people. And on the other hand, on the other end of the spectrum, there are other people who are more like exotic Japanese antiques. And these people, it's they're not going to fit in most living rooms. But there are some people out there who absolutely love that exact Japanese antique furniture, and it's going to be like a great fit. You know, it's going to be like the perfect fit. But my point is that there are people who just seem to kind of vibe with people more in generally, and maybe they could get in and out of relationships quicker. And that's not to say some people who get into relationships quickly, in and out of relationships quickly, they're doing it just because they're insecure about being alone and they need that relationship for help. So, but there are some people who just generally just do connect with lots of people quite easily. And then there's other people who you know, I want to say the word is like they're more niched. They're weirder. They have more nuanced interests. That maybe they're more introverted, or maybe they have a specific hobby, but you know, they're just weird in their own way. They don't click with most people as well, but when they meet the right people, they click extremely well because maybe they have shared interests or shared values or shared religious beliefs or hobbies or intellectual pursuits. They read the same books or whatever it is. I remember when my mom and dad met, my dad actually, I don't think my dad didn't read much back then, but there was a book he was reading, and when he on one of their first dates, my mom had that same book, and you know, there was that shared connection. Anyways, so my point is, if you're doubting yourself and you've been like, I'm due for a relationship, it might not be that there's something more you need to do, something you need more to prove yourself, but it might be that you are more of a refined frequency. You are more of a unique frequency, and for people with a more unique frequency, or people who are weird, it might take them extra time. And it's not about, oh, you need to improve. Of course, you can always improve yourself more in some way, but good chance you might be enough or close to being enough, and it's more about rather than proving. It's more about extreme deep acceptance for exactly who you are and exactly your weird quirks, and complete deep acceptance for your unique personality and interests and values, and not about trying to become more this, more that, but more deeply becoming yourself. See what I'm saying? And eventually you will find that if you're an antique, rare piece of furniture, you will find someone who's also has that similar niche personality, and when you do, you're going to appreciate each other that much more. My main message in this video is to just extremely deeply accept yourself and love yourself, quirks, weirdness, and all, and you'll eventually find someone who does match with that. But now on to some more practical advice. And now for people who feel they fall into this camp of kind of being in an exotic, rare furniture, here are 4 practical dating advice, unconventional dating advice tips that might help you. So the first is, I have a couple friends who are vegans, and a couple of them host vegan meetups. And so that's a great just metaphor for whatever it is your niche is, whatever your niche hobbies or interests or values or personality type, where can you go that will give you the best odds of meeting someone who vibes with you very well? Imagine a vegan just cold approaching random women on the street. The chances of compatibility or finding a fellow vegan is probably extremely low. But if a vegan goes to a vegan meetup, the odds of meeting someone of compatibility is 20 times higher, 100 times higher. You see what I'm saying? So find your niches and be proactive in your niches. And even better, as those 2 friends of mine, become a leader in that niche. Be the guy. Yeah, it's good. You go to those meetups, go to that. That's the best thing. But if you want to go even better, be the leader in that niche. Be the person who hosts that niche meetup. Or you see what I'm saying? My second practical tip is kind of broadcast your interests. And I made a video in 2017, and one of my interests is Kretza. I made a video about Kretza, and in the beginning of that video, I expressed, hey, if there are any women who kind of share this curiosity, hit me up. I'll put a link to the video down in the description if anyone's interested in checking it out. But it's kind of broadcast what you're interested in. Maybe a friend knows someone who would be a great match for you, but they didn't know you had a particular interest in something. And because of that video, I went on five dates because of that video, over the last several years. And I didn't meet someone who I thought, yeah, this feels like a long-term partnership. But I went on some great dates with some awesome women because of that video, and I'm very glad I made that video. And maybe women will still see that video, and I'll go on more dates in the future because of it. But it's kind of broadcasting what your interests are. My third practical tip for weird people in the dating world is you gotta try new things. Whether new events, you just gotta try new things and see what sticks, see what clicks with you. And I'm currently in Colombia right now, and the dating vibe here is very different than the dating vibe in America. And that's the same when I've traveled to Asia and other places too. The women are different, and I personally, I've only been here for 2.5 weeks. I've only been on 1 date here so far, but I personally, I'm really liking just the feel of dating here in Colombia compared to America. So sometimes you just gotta try new things, and you'll find somewhere new that that just kind of clicks for you and feels right. So whether traveling or trying new groups, trying salsa dancing, trying ballroom dancing, I don't know, but you just gotta put yourself out there and keep trying some things, and eventually something will click. And my fourth practical tip is, all it really takes is meeting one person. It's that's all we're really looking for, is that one person. So, and you never know when that's going to happen. It might happen in the most unexpected place. It might happen in the most expected place. But all you really need to do is meet one person. So it's like you go on 5 dates that don't turn out well. You might meet the person you want to have a long-term relationship with tomorrow, and so you never know, and always stay positive. And I personally believe in God or a higher intelligence, and I believe we all have you know, whether you could say agreements we made back when we were in spirit, or, you know, whatever you want to say, that I do believe we are meant to meet people at the right time, and that's not, and I believe you have to meet God, you have to meet the universe halfway, you have to put yourself out there, and you have to be open and, you know, developing yourself, get yourself to that frequency. But my point is to have faith in the process, and I believe, you know, God, the universe, orchestrates synchronistic ways of meeting people. And if you're atheist or agnostic, you know, it's just the mindset of positivity, and you just need to meet one person, and you never know when you're going to meet that one person. You might be depressed for a while, and one day you just meet the right person, and then you're like, hey, I found my person. So it's good to always stay positive. That said, the mindset of only finding one person, sometimes it takes getting into a feeling of abundance to, you know, vibrationally get to that frequency, if you know what I'm saying. So it's like, go on dates, even if and just make friends and put yourself out there socially and get into this more abundant feeling. There's nothing that turns off women more than desperation. You know, a woman can like sniff desperation in guys. So, you know, go on dates, put yourself out there, and do your best to cultivate a feeling of abundance in terms of your social life, and in terms of, I guess, like happiness, not being, of course, there's always gonna be like a little bit of neediness. I feel like some people are like, you gotta love yourself completely first before you get love. You know, I'm more like, get to a place where you love yourself 80%, you know, get to a place where your life is like in decent amount shape. Some people put off putting themselves out there in the dating world too long, in my opinion. No one's perfect, it's okay, start putting yourself out there. Oh, and my last practical advice is, when you are on dates or when you are socializing, express your true self the best you can. You know, talk about your niche interests or niche beliefs or niche hobbies, or, you know, show your true, authentic personality, because maybe someone you're talking to has a similar niche interest, or they know someone who has a similar niche interest, or you're not going to get on that frequency of attracting that match right for you if you are repressing your true self. So show your true self. I hope you enjoyed this video. I do offer coaching if you're interested in kind of like life coaching. Check the description for GoldJacketLuke.com. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all of you. We're all going to make it. Peace out.